Alright, here we are on the map. Wasn't very hard to find. But anyway, I've got a bunch of oil boats transporting oil, and it's so much oil. I can't handle the oil. I can't keep up with the oil, honestly. They just produce it so quickly. But it gives me quite a lot of money, as you can see. Kind of crazy in the beginning, where it was, the boats were grouped together, and just every third month would get to this place because it's such a far distance. But anyway, I began with 7 citizens. And really, before you can do anything in such a small city, you have to fund new buildings. So I did that until I could have 2 bus stations to go between. And then I didn't need to fund it as much, but I still do, because I have enough money. And there's no reason not to, really. And I want to make this as large as possible. That's the main goal. I want it to be the largest city. That's the challenge. While still using the other 2, I want to make this larger. It's kind of difficult with Front Thingway growing every 10th day because of my bus stations. But it's getting dangerously close to the edge of the sea. It could have broken through already here. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you that. What happens if you break through into the ocean. You could probably imagine what it does. So yeah, I haven't really played much on this map yet, but I'll play more. Maybe record it, maybe not. I might not actually play anything on this map. This is strange. From the beginning, these weren't here, but they was placed there later by the game. This though, I did random industries all over the place, but it decided to place this oil place just beside the oil processing center. I don't even know what it's called. But basically, with only one of these, I can reach both buildings, which is really strange. Because basically what it does, this one, is it loads up on oil from here, then it sells it and loads up on oil, and then it unloads the oil and over here and sells it and loads on oil. It's strange. But still you can't have just one station, I'm pretty sure. Well, yeah, that's this map. It's interesting. It's not quite the same idea of a map as the one I was talking about earlier, but it's a little bit similar, I guess. Alright, so now we have looked through most, or really all of the scenario stuff. There's just a few games I want to show you. Dryfield Transport. This is the very first map I ever played on. And of course, I began with buses, because why not? And I have a shit ton of money. What really did it was the aircraft, as usual. But basically, I connected everything, every single thing with buses, and well, almost. Or maybe I did connect everything. Yeah, everything is connected. uh, and I was like, I remember this. These two cities were about the same size in the beginning, and I believe Wetfield was from the beginning the largest city. Might be wrong on that. It might have been part town. Well, whatever. That's beside the point. But anyway, I would transport people between these two cities. I was just getting overwhelmed because they grew so much that I couldn't keep up with the buses. So what I ended up doing, and still do to this day, is construct an extra bus station just to get rid of the extra passengers. And I just ran a bus or several buses between these two stations. Of course, that is how you grow cities, so yeah. What is this? Yates Aerospace. Okay. Looks like we need a new airfield, it seems. This one just can't keep up. Basically, that's what I did, and well, I was scared of trains, of course, because I didn't know anything about signals at all or anything like that. And boats, I didn't really see the point in them. But I suppose I could have done something with the oil fields. But as you can see, I'm not actually making any use of any industry at all, which is interesting. Very interesting. So in the beginning, I just connected these cities here, I believe, up here, and then this. Oh look, another shorting hall. Didn't even know it was called that. And then I connected this, and eventually I connected the smaller cities like these two together at first, and then together with the rest. Ah, that was crazy. And in the end, I also made this crazy line. This is not recommended, by the way, to make such a long line with buses. Although they like me still. And here we go. Here we have Tutberg Springs. So when I decided I wanted to have an airfield, I was originally planning on having it in Henfingford. At the time, though, I didn't know that you could make the local authorities angry at you, you know. So what I ended up doing was terraforming, and I got really mad, and I couldn't do anything about it because I had no buses here either at that point. So yeah, I couldn't do anything. I had a perfect spot to put a airfield on airport, but no, they didn't let me. And because I could connect this with buses, and they liked me more, or rather they disliked me in the beginning, but as it progressed with the buses, they started to like me a lot. So I was able to put this airfield down, which I'm really happy about. And Henfingford lost a lot on that, I believe. But also I just ended up putting it in Wetfield. I think it was kind of problematic to put it here. Maybe. Not sure. Anyways. I just thought I would show you that. Now, let's see. What else should we show? What is this? This is just an earlier version of that. Okay. Let me find another game that is a little bit interesting. Okay, so this is an interesting one. So me and my brother, we have had some online games, as I have said before, but we kept having these connection issues, so we decided, let's try the smallest map that is possible to do, and just try and do absolutely everything we can on this map. So this is just in the beginning, or really, or rather, not in the beginning, but a few years into what we were playing, I suppose. Oh, excuse me. We're now gonna check out. Oh, yeah, Guarding Will hates me, by the way. Right here. Not even sure why that happened, but it did. No, not save. We're now gonna check out a much later year. As you can see, this is 1966. This is how it looks in 2012. Yeah, it got very, 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 very complicated. And this is the world you see in the intro, if you didn't know that. Basically, we did pretty much everything there is to do. Of course, in this map my brother beat me, but normally I actually beat him. Which is funny. There's so many stations. Just so many. So many. So much things everywhere. And of course, there's one-way streets, because you just look at the amount of vehicles going through here. It was a mess when there was just one type. Or I should say, just one road. It is crazy. I can't imagine doing this all over the world, and having enough time to do that with before 2051. That's crazy. And here we go. This is an important map. This is a map over the southern part of Sweden. For my taste, it's a little bit too big, honestly. It's just too big. Like Copenhagen. Already in the beginning, it is much larger than it should be. Like 28,000, that is a huge city. But it's not. It hasn't grown all that much since we've begun playing on this world, which makes it very crazy. Gotta say. So, the reason I show this map, it's just another multiplayer game, uh, which was pretty even, but I kind of won, I guess. I don't know. There's no really winning or losing in this. But this is important because it revolutionized my use of trains, really. Oh, buses. So, from Uppsala, I made this rail line right here. It goes very far. It goes all throughout this. Right here. All the way down. To Oslo. Or Oslo. In English. Now, of course, as I said when I showed the Dalarna County map, there is no ocean here in real life, so you can't make this straight railroad track. But what is so unique with this is that it ran extremely well, and I still don't really understand how it could. But look at that, 88,000 with that train alone in 1 year. It's crazy! Of course my brother just made this line just beside, because I was overpowered with this crazy line. But yeah, so the way I did this was to use these advanced these advanced signals, and I just put them at every cross section so they would never go on the same track. Each train, they could, if a train was coming in one direction in one track, it could switch to the next one, which kind of made sense, right? Now that I have actually learned how to do things, the best way is like my brother did, which is taking use of one-way signals. So this track here only allows trains to go this way, and the opposite for the other way. And at the station, it's just well, you can just switch tracks however the train wants, you know. Well, yeah, somehow this works. Now I've since learned that if you have this kind of track and you have two trains going this way and two trains going this way, they will get stuck for sure. So in reality you shouldn't be able to have 4 trains on this track, but somehow it works. It has never gotten stuck, ever. It probably did help that I had 3 tracks in close to the actual station, as it would require 6 trains here in order to, you know, make them get stuck, I guess. But because this was so successful, I had a lot of trouble in later games where I tried to use this method, but it just did not work. And it's the same method I used in the subarctical world that we are going to continue with after this episode, don't you worry. I used it there and it really doesn't work. It just doesn't. I think it just works because there's such a large distance and the trains are so far apart. But yet, it is still this design is still better because it can have more trains and it doesn't use up as much rail. Like I have to have these cross sections everywhere for it to work, and that costs just a tad bit more. Uh, huh. Interesting. Wonder why there's a rail there. Ah, anyway. Yeah, it is more efficient this way. And of course, you can cram more trains into this design. I know that now. I just recently learned it. But I just refuse to make or attempt to make any such kind of track. Just because I knew this one worked so well. I don't know. It set me back a lot, but now I'm beyond that. So I think that's gonna be it for looking at the past games I've had. Of course, there's a lot of other games where my brother has hosted it, or it's on a completely another computer, or stuff like that. And I have played more multiplayer games, especially multiplayer games with my brother and with Irkmaster and Darkade and whatnot. So yeah, that's probably a lot of hours that cannot be seen through that, but I have spent a lot of hours on that snow map you saw, and I believe up to 50 hours maybe on just that map, which is really crazy. Really crazy. Well, no. Probably not 50, but a lot of hours anyway. Now, before we end off this episode, I would just want to show you the multiplayer map that I have with Irkmaster and the guys. Now, by the time this goes up, it's probably very old and we might have played more and we might have not played more. But anyway, I won't record any of the actual playing session. But anyway, I am this color, this green color. And this is the map we have. We are at 1967. Nanpool Bridge is growing out of control for no reason. It grows every 6th day, even though it doesn't even have five stations, and that is the real confusing part here. I don't get it. I don't. I just don't get it. So yeah, I am winning. I've been on top every single block, I think. Maybe one or two they've overtaken me, but honestly, hasn't been much times. And fairly, well, maybe not, but there has been aircraft added. Of course, I got the FFP Dart, the best early plane that there is, which has the first jet engine, pretty much. I got offered that, so I had a head start, even though I didn't need one. But anyway, I built these two airports. I had planned it way ahead. These two places seemed like the most suitable, because Nanpool, not really flat over there. Of course, they are really close to each other, so I'm not making extreme amounts, but I am making quite a lot. Aircmaster is blue and Darkgate is, I guess, brown. I guess. Um, yeah, and Farwood is second largest, or at least it was. It is. It is. Got that. We got that. We got that. As you can see, I'm pretty much in every large city. Sarston, not in that one. Got Renfingberg. This is Darkgate's crazy rail system. He's using signals. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing, but if it works, then sure. He's just using basic signals and has a crazy network of rail. And I especially like this cross section, which had a crash as well. That was funny. Yeah, I guess there's not much to say really. I guess I could tell you about some things. Like this place, they absolutely hate him. Very poor. But they love me, just because I built some bus stations in that city that is pretty much surrounded in his rail. Of course, Irkmaster built airports in response to my building of airports, which is a smart move really. It made him not fall as much behind, even though these placements weren't as good as mine. But it does have a larger distance, a little bit at least. So he has that going for him. And this is kind of similar, this thing here. I'm transporting grain and whatever, cattle, I guess, to this food processing center, and then I'm with air transporting it to quarterly market so that it grows. Yeah, kind of crazy. So that's fun. Got this crazy boat thing here, which half of the boats are going into the negatives, which is fun. And just recently we had these type of buildings pop up. Tall office building, I guess it would be called. And these two cities are practically growing together into one city. Of course that really never happens, but you know. And here I have my new signaling system. The only fault is, as you can see here, is at the actual stations. I think I have the wrong signal here. It usually works, but lately I've been clogging up several times, just like this. I don't get why this train were going to this line where this is actually free. Not sure. Not sure. But anyways, I have this rail line as well, which is serving me quite well, gotta say. Kinda difficult to build this through, and I had to pay Irkmaster to move his station here so that I could actually do this, which was very nice that I could do that. And I'm earning pretty good money on this line, honestly, and I'm happy about that. Yeah, I do want to have another airport. There's just no good place. Like Hanford, decent maybe. I have prepared an area here, kind of. But it refuses to grow. It says it's growing every 38th day, but as a matter of fact, it really doesn't grow that fast at all. It has been at this level of, I don't know, citizens, population, for a very long time. Just recently it went up to 1.4, it was just at 1k for a long time. And I believe it was because of these buildings. Yeah, and there's of course all other flat places that you could use, like Fenley, perhaps, but I would have to grow that in before. Here the coal mine is in the way, and of course Eric Master is already claiming that we really don't go to each other's places to diminish their returns. Only a little bit, like right here, but that's fine. I'm in the lead, so why not? Alright, I hope you found these two episodes interesting, because I found them interesting, obviously, because it's the history of my playing session thing hours of OpenTTD, Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. In the next episode we will be back at our subarctical place map, and we will play. Hopefully we will play that until 2051 and actually get a high score for once. But until then, I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and thank you very much for watching.